Good morning. Welcome to the online classes on IoT, that is Internet of Things. In today's session, we are going to speak about the third part of the sensor participatory sensing, RFIDs and wireless sensor networks. In the previous video, we have spoken about the sensor and the participatory sensing, the different uh, applications of them. And while coming to the today's class, we will speak about the RFID, that is radio frequency identification. Then we are going to also speak about the wireless sensor networks there. So that is WSN. So first and foremost, let us say the radio frequency identification technology, that is RFID. So RFID. So as the name suggests, it is an identification. Okay. So an identification system using the tagging and labeling of the objects. So it is mainly used for the identification purpose, mainly identify any objects by tagging them and labeling them. So while coming to the RFID technology, it is going to enable the tagging of the product, parcel, a postal article, a person, bird, animals, vehicles or the object. So whenever you are going to send the parcel, it is also tagged, or let us say the in the toll booth, right? You have to pay the toll when you have the vehicle, so that is also done by the RFID. So in the sensors of the animals, for the recognition purpose of the animal there, so they are also tagged with the RFID, whether it may be bird, animal, or person also there. So or when you are going to order something, the parcel is completely tracked by the RFID signals. Now coming to the, it is going to make the identification very feasible by making use of the radio frequency. So here the ID can be UART, that is universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter. So UART is universal asynchronous receiver and the transmitter, or the NFC protocol, that is near field communication protocol. So and the identification tab when I'm going to have the RFID. So here the near field communication protocol, as the name suggests, it is going to support like very small distance between the two devices, or let us say that two machines, right? While coming to the UART, again this is also used for the communication, but it is mainly a device to device hardware communication protocol. It is a device to device hardware communication protocol. So this is, as the name suggests, they are the asynchronous. So here you are going to have the two lines. One is used for the receiving and another one is used for the transmitting the signal. So let us go for the next slide here. So RFID tag communication of the ID. So as it is already mentioned, the ID communicate using the UART or the NFC, that is near field communication, or we can say that UART, that is universal asynchronous receiver or the transmitter. So here identifies the tag when the distance is lesser than 20 centimeter. The active NFC device or mobile generate the RF field, that is radio frequency field, and generate enough power for the device RFID transmitter. So here the NFC device or the mobile is used. So when they are used, it is going to make use of the generated RFID field, RF field, and then it is going to power up the device so that it can transmit the RFID signals. So here that generated power will be used here, and RFID will be transmit the identification tag contents. So here the active device has the built-in power supply, that is battery, and it is going to transmit the information on its own. So the next one is passive device here. So the device drives power from the electrical current induced in its antenna by the incoming RF signals from the reader or from the hotspot. So it is going to power up the drivers mainly by the electrical current that is coming from the antenna by the incoming RF signals. So here the tag is going to transmit when it is scanned, right? When the RFID tag is getting scanned, or it is comes under the radio frequency field, it is going to transmit the information that is present in the particular tag. So here this is the simple diagram of the IoT applications and the services, so which is mainly making use of the RFID. So here TX and the RX, that is transmitter and the receiver here. So let us see that one by one here. So RFID, TX and RX, that means this can work as both transmitter and the receiver. Again the reader here, so this can work as both transmitter and the receiver, transmitter and receiver, transmitter and receiver here. So first one is middleware here. So while coming to the middleware, you are going to have the computing device and the storage. So while coming to the software component used at the reader or the read manager or the data store for the transaction data store and the APIs of the application. So here mainly you are going to have the computing device and the cloud storage, any storage. So whether you are going to make use of cloud, data center or the web server, you can make anything. So here they are going to read the data from the reader. Okay, so they are going to read the middlewares are going to read the data from the reader, that is RFID reader or the read manager. So they will be reading the data and then they will be sending the data to the middleware. So after that the data will be stored in the data storage. So whether it may be in the web server, cloud or the data center, anywhere you can store, that is left to the user. Okay, after that data has been stored there, then you will be applying those things on the IoT applications and the different services. So while coming to the IoT applications and the services, so there are many associated applications softwares which will be making use of the data that has been stored in the data store. So it is going to take the data from the data center, cloud or the web server. Now while coming to the RFID, so let us see about the certain issues. So mainly the design issues and the security issue. So first one is design issue. So you have to design the unique ID system which is going to have the standard global format or the framework. So here the every the tags which is generated, right? So tags for the any objects, right? So that is created, or the unique ID which is created, so they will be unique for everyone because they are mainly used for the identification purpose. So if they are repeated, then the calculation will go wrong or the identification will go wrong. So you have to design the unique ID system that needs the standard global framework. Then while coming to the security issues, a tag is read only mechanism, so you can only read the tag there. So when the tag is only read only. So interact, it can interact with any reader there. It can interact with any reader, and uh, because of the reading by the any reader devices, it can be automated. Sorry, it can be automated external monitoring can be also done there, right? It can be have the external monitoring also. So that is the security issue. So anyone can monitor the your uh, object there, your object or your material or anything. Anyone can monitor it. So while coming to the next one is privacy issues. So while coming to the privacy issues, it is going to arise when the tag or the reader need to be authenticated before their use. So you have to authenticate the tag also and also the reader before their use, because as it is already mentioned in the previous slide, anyone can read the tag that has been generated, right? Because it is only read only, right? So here the full implementation of the privacy and security needs the data processing at the tag and the reader with SS encryption and the authentication algorithm. So here you should have the different encryption and the authentication algorithm to make the reader or the tag very secure. So here the RFID system is very vulnerable to external virus attacks also. Next is cost and protection. So while coming to the cost and protection, let us say that you want to provide security, you want to provide the privacy, right? So that time what is going to happen? That time you have to apply different security enhancing technologies. You have to implement a different encryption or decryption algorithms. So what is going to happen? Here the RFID tag or the reader will become costlier. Okay, so when you want to implement the security, when you want to provide the privacy, you have to implement the different algorithms, different encryption and decryption algorithms should be implemented. So you should implement the different processing and security enhancing technology should be added. So that time the RFID tag or the reader will become costlier. So here the tag needs the protection from the adverse weather condition, or else they will also get damaged. So recycling and the active life issues. So while coming to the recycling of the tags, it is main environment concern, because uh, for the every devices or parcel order or anything, you are going to create the unique RFID signals. So the already created one we cannot use them again, right? So several recycling mechanisms are going on, and new solutions are also found with respect to the environment concern. Okay, so that we can safely help the environment also. So here the active RFID, so it is going to consist of the battery. So it has the limited life of around 2 or 4 years. It is going to have the life of around 2 or 4 years. Next is EPC Global Architecture Framework. So EPC, that is Electronic Product Code. So the group suggested the Electronic Product Code, that is EPC standards, rules and architecture here. So the assignment, it is going to assign the unique identity. The framework will facilitate the business process, application and the services uniquely by identifying the physical objects like loads, locations, assets and other entities. So it is very similar to RFID. It is also going to generate the electronic product code to be generated, which is unique for everyone. So because of this one, you can identify the physical objects, loads, locations, assets and the other properties can be also found out. So the EPC information services, so EPCIS design of an EPC global standard. So here the EPC related data sharing is done within and across the enterprises. So the EPCIS capturing application, that is ECA, for mainly used for capturing the EPC related data which is required for the business purpose. So EPCIS assessing application, EAA and repository. So EAA for the enterprise business process is supported by the data capture using the ECA. So here the partner applications such as poster tracking system is connected with the payment system. The repository for storing the records of the events and for retrieving the using the queries from the EAA. So next is object name service version 2.0.1, which is created in 2013. So this was provided by the IETF. So what it is does is it is going to perform the lookup function which are based on the DNS. So they are going to perform the lookup function which is based on the DNS, that is domain name system. So the DNS, that is domain name system, names the enables the connectivity to the web server using the internet. So it is going to help you in connecting to the web server mainly using the internet. So here the object name service is going to implement the function using the distributed set of servers. So the lookup function, what do you mean by lookup function? We mentioned lookup function, right? It is going to perform lookup function which are based on the DNS, that is ONS. So here, what do you mean by lookup function? It is going to refer to the DNS names for enabling the web server connectivity. So what it is doing, what do you mean by lookup function? So looking at the DNS name is going to enable the web server connectivity. So let us see some of the technical challenges here. So the first one is interference. So what do you mean by interference here? So when an organization uses the number of wireless systems, the RFID hotspot also uses the wireless installation. So the frequency of the RFID hotspot and the wireless system may interfere with one another. Okay, the number of wireless systems which has been used by the or company or the organization and the RFID hotspot, which is mainly going to make use of the wireless installation, those things. Here the frequency of the RFID hotspot, which is wireless installation, and the wireless systems of the particular organization may interfere with one another. Here the system is going to require the effective mitigation from the interference. Yeah. So here the effective implementation is done at the data processing subsystem, which is going to consisting of the reader and the tag protocols. So you have the middleware architecture is there, and we are going to have the EPC standards also. So it is going to need to follow the method of lowering the cost of the tags and RFID technologies, but it should also provide the proper security also, and it is can be need so that it can support the design in the robustness, and it should also provide the proper data security. So while coming to the some other challenges while coming to the securities, you have to discover the foreign attacks or the intrusion. Maintenance over the data integrity should be done. Unauthorized disabling of the tag by the reader, which is external, thus making the tag useless. So you should not allow any one of the external to unauthorized uh, we can say like okay, we should not allow unauthorized reading of the tags, because there is a chance that the unauthorized reader can compromise your system, and it will disable the tag also. So the unauthorized tag manipulation by the reader, which is external, thus making the tag useless. So you should not allow the manipulation by the reader also. So while coming to the some of them, some more are like a cloning of the tag by the unauthorized entity, like we can clone them. Now coming to the another one is eavesdropping. What is the meaning of eavesdropping is setting up the additional reader and pretending to be a reader belonging to the particular system. I'm not the man of that particular system, but again I'm going to go there and I'm going to pretend that I'm the part of the system, and I'm trying to manipulate or I'm trying to take the data from there. Next is man in the middle attack. So while coming to the man in the middle attack, when an external object pretends to be either a tag or reader between the systems tags and readers, is called as man in the middle attack. So here the one person is going to pretend that I am the receiver or I am the transmitter, and he is going to collect the data that has been sent, or he is going to receive the data, and he can slow down your machinery by sending unwanted signals or unwanted machines. So messages can be sent also. So is there any solution? Yes, there is a solution. So what you can do? You can do the encryption. So tag deactivation or the detection of the intrusion can be done. Mutual authentication between the tag and the reader can be done. Detection of the tag owner, use of the read data analyzer, and also data cleaning must be done there. Internet of the RFIDs. So while coming to the internet of RFIDs, data from the RFID reader, after filtering, aggregating and routing, will store at an IP address, and the data will be present in the XML format. For the data accessing, you can use HTTP and the SOAP protocol. Next is IP for RFID. As it is already mentioned, every object is going to have the IP address. So here the, and in the previous slide also we mentioned that the RFID needs the security also, right? So RFID needs the security also. So here the IP for RFID, so it is going to have the internet protocol, which is IP v6 here. So here the it is going to IPv6 is of 128 bit. So your RFID internet protocol in the RFID is going to make use of the 128 bit IP address. So it needs to be mapping. So the mapping should be done here with the 96-bit EPC. So the EPC is the header, manufacturer, producer, and the serial number bits there. So while coming to the securing IPv6 communication, you can make use of the cryptologically generated address because of the security that is provided by the IPv6 communication. We can have the cryptographically generated address, that is CGA here. Web of Things of RFID, WOT, that is Web of Things, is making an object as the part of the World Wide Web. So you want to communicate or you want to add everything to the World Wide Web. So that is why it is called as Web of Things of RFIDs. So while coming to the WOT software's architecture, styles are done by JSON, REST, and the programming patterns such as WebSockets that makes the very feasible in nature. Now WOT is the data store of the objects familiar to the web pages store. Next is WSN, that is wireless sensor networks here, WSN. So while coming to the WSN, that is wireless sensor networks, so they cooperatively monitor the physical and environmental condition. So WSN is going to monitor the physical and environmental condition like temperature, vibration, source, pressure, motion, sound, or hazard gas leaks or pollutants are on the in the different locations. So it is going to get to the information like monitoring purpose, right? It wants to get the information for the monitoring purpose. So here it is going to have the physical environmental condition that is existing. So that will be compared with the taken data, that is temperature, sound, vibration. Then we have the pressure, motion, hazard gas leaks, pollutants at a different location. So here the WSN is going to acquire the data from the multiple and the remote locations here. So if we come for the examples, then Internet of Waste containers, the sensors wirelessly will communicate the waste containers status in the waste management system in the smart city. So if it is full there, it is going to already tell that it is full there, right? Then Internet of street lights, which is also making use of WSN, is going to acquire data of ambient light condition. So WSN is going to communicating the nearby traffic density for the control of monitoring the traffic signals. So while coming to the WSR, WSN, that is wireless sensor nodes, each node will be provided with the RF transceiver, that is transmitter also and a receiver also. So both of them can be used. Next is defining of the WSN. So while coming to the definition of the WSN, so it is a network in which each sensor node connects wirelessly. So here network is one which has the each sensor, one which can make each sensor connects wirelessly. So here each having capabilities for computation. Everyone is having the capability for the computation, for data explanation, aggregation, and analysis purpose. So while coming to here, each one of the communication as network capabilities. So WSN consists of the specially distributed autonomous devices or the sensor. So WSN reprogramming can be over the air here, that is OTA, which means that wirelessly modifying the codes in flash memory uh, through an access point by the gateway application or the service. Thank you.